please help us welcome, give a nice warm welcome, and send him lots of love. Our very own Reverend Carlton T.
Um, when we talk about radiate love and just being present to our light and shining our light, I'll talk about that more in the moment. But it's really meaningful to not only do we get to be proud and radiate our love and join in the festivities and the celebrations and really activate our loving. But for me, it's a time of reflection. Just knowing the journey that we've been through in our community, our people, and the planet in just really establishing. I like to say I was pioneer, right? From old school, but to really provide the space that is so available for the freedom of our young people. And there's still more work to do, don't get me wrong, but to provide the freedom of our young people to be the light, to express themselves and the role that all get to participate in. It's so good to see that freedom. And so I just want to be present to what that means to me personally. Um, my topic for today is drop it like it's hot. Right? We're talking about radiating love. And I'm gonna take that term a little bit differently, drop it like it's hot. Um, just in the world in which so I'm talking about pride and I'm talking about the magnificence that I see, but I also know that there's still oppression, there's still inequality, there is still a lack of inclusivity. And if you at all watch the news, which trust me, I try not to. I really try not to watch the news. But my husband is one that turns on the Today Show first thing in the morning. So I may be meditating, but all of a sudden I hear the news and all the stuff that the news brings. And it affects me in a particular way, and I'm one who practices, so I use it as the opportunity to turn within, the opportunity to know truth. But the news, I'm even going to say his name, when we hear Trump, when we hear wars and rumors of wars, when we hear about the devastating loss of life, when we hear the stories of discrimination, when we hear about the Supreme Court, when we hear about oppression and inequality, these all evoke a particular emotion. I'll speak for myself within me, but I invite the agreement if there is one. Um, and to know that it's not the essence, right? It's not the essence of our being, but it definitely does cause a reaction within our system. I also know that any form of sadness or limiting beliefs or false beliefs or negative self-talk, even energies of hate and anger and violence, they may come and go in our awareness, and they may be fleeting, but they are there. There is an awareness of them because there is activity that is taking place that is from this energy. And I can't deny it. So when we touch on this, often these feelings, we like to drop it like it's hot. We like to let go of that. I'm not going to entertain that idea. I'm dropping that like it's hot. I'm letting that go. We don't want to experience anything that is unlike love. This is what we have said yes to. Those of us who practice, those of us who are, I'm sure those of us who are right here, we don't really want to experience anything that is unlike love. So anything that is unlike love, we choose to drop it, right? Drop it, let it go. We're not going to entertain feelings of doubt or lack. We don't want to be present. We don't want to really deal with the feelings of our past traumas or our bad experiences. When those thoughts arise, we like to drop it like it's hot. We like to let it go. We hear it often in our community, right? In our talk with each other. Well, just let that go. What I know is that we have the capacity to be very clear and very true with ourselves. We get to be present. We get to find out what we're holding on to and know that that something is hot. It is burning into our awareness. It is creating an energy that may cause doubt, that may not allow us to see what's true and real. It may not be the first thing we go to know the presence and to know the divine, the capacity of our loving. But what I know is that to really move through this, we really need to be present with it. Hear me when I say this, though, that to radiate love, if we're going to radiate love, we must drop anything that is unlike love and embrace what is true, what is radiant. However, the process in which we drop it is everything. We can just drop it, like it's how we can just let it go. And I will say from experience, if we just let it go, it reappears. It reappears. At times, the triggers, the experiences, the hurts, they're painful and hot. But what I know is that our love is hotter. Our love is hotter than any false belief, any limiting belief, any doubt, any news article, anything that we hear. Our love is hotter than that. So when we radiate love, we become present to the absolute truth. We become present to the truth in any given situation. We get to burn away the untruth. And then we let the ashes fall. Our love is hotter. We burn away any untruth and we let the ashes fall. So what was very interesting to me when the topic radiate love, I was on a walk yesterday and I had an idea. I love to drop it like it's hot. Just I like just saying it, right? Drop it like it's hot. but when I was really being present in my walk yesterday, and I was thinking about, what does radiate love? What does that really feel like or mean to me? And so I'm a child of the 70s, so I used to love my comic books. And what immediately came to me was Johnny Storm, the Human Torch from Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm, if anybody, does anybody know? Am I the only one here that knows who Johnny Storm is? Oh my God, the Fantastic Four, the Human Torch. So he used to say, he was one of the Fantastic Four, and the Human Torch, he used to say, flame on. And when he would say flame on, he would burst into flames and he would go and fly through whatever the particular challenge was, and he'd save the day. So that came into my awareness, and I was like, yeah, flame on. And I was like, especially this month of Pride, there's there's been a whole bunch of flaming on, I am sure. Well, I even got my little, let's see, got my little something. See my little rainbows. So just a little flame, right? But we've been flaming. We radiate our love. We are allowing the essence of our magnificence to reveal itself as our lives. And then when we gather and when we come together and we flame on, when we are radiating our love, the activation and the magnification of that, the, the ignition of that flame is a healing presence. It brings the glory, the uniqueness, the magnificence and the brightness and the brilliance. We are radiating love when we stand in our truth, when we open our hearts, when we flame on. We are radiating love. So when we talk about this, when we participate in this flow of energy, when we become so very present to our one true nature, and knowing that the presence that is revealing itself in only the way in which it can is our unique and individualized being. When we turn that up, when we flame on, when we radiate that love, there is no other thing. There is no other being. There is only the realization of our oneness. Even in those challenging moments, there is only one. So what we have to do, and I'll just invite you to join me, what we have to do is agree to hold this space for everyone. When we flame on, we have to hold that truth, knowing that there is no other thing, knowing that there is no thing against anything. There is only the one thing expressing as all of us. When we can approach in any given situation, first and foremost with ourselves, first and foremost with those limiting thoughts that may be pushed down, when we bring them up, when we shine the light on them, when we pull that forward and burn away the untruth and magnify the truth, the one love, then we are the example. And then when we connect and gather, when two or more agree, we are already magnifying that presence. So it is our call. We get to agree in this moment now with the, let's see who are here. The eight, see, I see nine, I see 12, right? The 12 of us and whomever might be listening later. If we gather and agree and know this truth, there is a ripple effect that is potent and powerful in that truth that absolutely is a healing presence. This I know for sure. So we flame, we radiate love. There's a song that we used to sing in the choir. Well, they still sing in the choir, but it's a song written by Ricky Byers and Michael Beckwith, and it's called "Pass It On." I'm just gonna read the lyrics, some of the lyrics of the song, and if you just join me, just maybe close your eyes if you can, and just give it a listen. Will you catch this fire? Will you burn with its heat? There's a fire in my heart, burning embers of love. There's a fire in my heart for the God in all creation. Will you catch this fire? Will you burn with its heat? Rise from your ashes and pass it on. Pass it on. There's a flame in my soul, burning embers of peace. With God's vision as my sight, life's a prayer that does not cease. There's a flame in my soul for the God in all creation. Will you catch this fire? Will you burn with its heat? Rise from your ashes and pass it on. Pass it on. Melt your heart's desire into this flame of love. Your cares, your fears, surrender it to the fire and pass it on. It is our nature to radiate love. It's my nature to flame on. So I would invite you to join me, like join me in flaming on. Let that flame that is our radiant love burn away the untruth and let the ashes fall. Drop the untruth. Allow what the truth that comes out of our ability to be present with ourselves in a particular way around anything. Let what we gain from that by being able to see through the untruth be the stepping stone to a greater expansion. And then let us just radiate even more love from that space. So I'm just inviting you to join me in that, to rate as a collective, let us radiate love. Let us allow the love to burn away the negative thought and reveal truth. Let us rise from the ashes. Let us rise and pass it on. So I just ask you, are you willing? You can answer me with a nod. Are you willing? Are you ready to flame on? Are you radiating love? Yeah. What are we dropping like it's hot? Our love. We are dropping our love everywhere because it is hot and it is the healing presence of this planet all over this planet. So I invite you to flame.